Why do millions of people spend hours watching wealthy celebrities argue at exclusive parties, vacation in luxury resorts, and live lifestyles that most of us will never experience? According to conflict theory, the answer is not just entertainment. Shows like The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reflect ideas about power, social class, and inequality, while influencing how audiences understand success, status, and privilege. Today, I will examine how reality television reflects and reinforces these social dynamics. Conflict theory focuses on power, inequality, and the distribution of resources in society. Rather than viewing society as stable and harmonious, conflict theorists argue that groups compete for wealth, prestige, and influence. Key concepts include power, social class, inequality, and hegemony. These ideas help reveal what is happening beneath the surface of popular culture. At first glance, The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills appears to be a show about friendships and personal drama. However, a conflict theorist would argue that it is really centered on social class. Nearly every episode highlights wealth through luxury homes, designer fashion, expensive jewelry, private travel, and exclusive social events. The cast members occupy positions of privilege that most viewers don't, and those differences become part of the entertainment. One concept that helps explain this is hegemony, which our lecturer describes as the power of culture as a means of social control. Rather than forcing people to accept inequality, media can encourage audiences to see certain social arrangements as normal and desirable. The Housewives franchise consistently presents wealth and elite status as forms of success. As viewers, we may begin to accept these ideas without questioning why some groups have greater access to resources and opportunities. Another important concept is consumerism. Erika Jayne provides one of the clearest examples on the show. Her celebrity persona was built around luxury cars, designer clothing, private travel, and a carefully maintained glamorous image. As a singer, her biggest song, Expensive, presents wealth, luxury brands, and extravagant spending as symbols of identity, status, and personal value. The song suggests that success can be achieved and displayed through material possessions. As reflected in the chorus, it's expensive to be me. Rather than simply displaying wealth, the show presents consumption itself as part of Erika's identity. From a conflict theory perspective, this encourages viewers to associate success and status with what people own. A conflict theorist would also ask, who benefits? The answer extends beyond the cast members themselves. Television networks, advertisers, luxury brands, and social media influencers all profit when audiences aspire to the lifestyles being portrayed. The more viewers admire luxury consumption, the more valuable those products, brands, and celebrity images become. Popular culture can therefore help maintain existing systems of power by encouraging consumption rather than questioning inequality. The show also demonstrates media influence. Reality television is often marketed as authentic, but producers carefully select what audiences actually see. The lifestyles and relationships presented on screen help shape cultural norms about beauty, status, aging, and success. For example, many cast members face pressure to maintain glamorous lifestyles and youthful appearances, often through cosmetic procedures, reinforcing media-driven expectations about women's appearance and social status. These expectations can reinforce gender stereotypes by suggesting that women's value is tied to appearance, wealth, and social standing. What makes this sociologically significant is that the show transforms inequality into entertainment. Viewers are not simply observing wealth, they're consuming messages about who has power, what success looks like, and which lifestyles deserve admiration. In conclusion, conflict theory reveals that The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is much more than reality television. Through concepts such as hegemony, social class, consumerism, media influence, cultural norms, and gender stereotypes, the show reflects broader systems of power and inequality. By analyzing the show sociologically, we can better understand how popular culture shapes the way people think about success, status, and privilege in contemporary society. And just like the housewives on the show, in a world obsessed with status, my influence speaks for itself.